So why India thought that they should have their own GPS signal? Kargil war was very unfortunate war when it comes to India. In fact, India has one of the highest casualties of young officers. Actually, we were at the position of disadvantage. Everyone has seen Lakshya. We know exactly what was happening. So we were at a position of disadvantage. The enemy was on the top. We were at the bottom. So one, the topography was not supporting India. Second, we are talking about places like Kargil. We are talking about places like Dras. These places have extremely cold climate. Majority of the personals or the soldiers in the forces come from the parts of India which are the tropical and subtropical region. भाई कितनी जगह बर्फ गिरती है? How many states are there which have 3 states in the north? Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal, Uttarakhand. One is Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh. That's it. Do you have multiple states where you have these extreme climate conditions? No. So your soldiers are also not very acclimatized when it comes to extreme climate condition. And in fact, you would have heard of these stories that the soldiers who are posted in Siachen, their fingertips, they are shaped, unki shape kharab ho jati hai, they become their fingers are not able to move because of the extreme cold, frostbite, and in fact even their bone structure is compromised, so much so that they have to sometimes take voluntary retirements because they are not in a position to fire a pistol. You are not a very useful soldier if you cannot fire, and in worst case, as he is saying, they need to be amputated also. This is the extent of cold climate over here. So there we requested again the best friend of the world, USA. USA had one of the strongest GPS system, that please give us the GPS system. USA till the last moment said that yes, we will help you, just like Ukraine. And then finally, what do you think USA would have done? USA said that we cannot interfere in the skirmishes between two countries and hence will not provide the GPS coordinates. And that is when India realized India needs to have its own GPS system. So that led to creation of IRNSS. So India has the satellite navigation program. It has 7 satellites. The navigation program is called as IRNSS. IRNSS. It is not the most efficient satellite program. It is not the most efficient, but you need to know, also called as NAVIC. Have you heard of this? IRNSS is also called as NAVIC. What is the purpose of creation of NAVIC? To provide the real-time positioning and timing services to users in India, as well as regions extending up to, extremely important, please write down, 1500 kilometers to its boundary. India and up till 1500 kilometers. Extremely important point, please write. And up to 1500 kilometers from its boundary. So can I say NAVIC can actually cater to South Asia? So India actually has offered in SARC that you can use the India's navigation satellite system. Now, what will it provide? It will provide 2 things. Standard positioning service. What is standard position? Global positioning service, standard position, basically GPS, location. The GPS system or the maps which you use, Google Maps, they are nothing but the positioning service. Second, restricted service, and this is for military. So it has both civilian and military component. Restricted service for military and security agencies. Now, there are 7 satellites, out of which 3 are in geostationary Earth orbit, 3 are in geostationary Earth orbit, and 4 are in geosynchronous orbit. Geosynchronous orbit. 3 in geostationary, 4 in geosynchronous. Yes, maritime also. Basically, any security and military use, you use NAVIC. In fact, NAVIC is now part of the WMO's group for the Indian Ocean navigation and security. We'll come to that. Geostationary is when it is stationary to one place. Geosynchronous is that it is at 36,000 kilometers, but not necessarily at the fixed position. It might move. Geostationary, again, दोनों का distance कितना है? What is the distance? 36,000 kilometers. One is stationary at a point, another can be or cannot be stationary but is synchronous. Now, what are the applications of IRNSS? Please write. The applications are terrestrial, aerial, marine navigation, disaster management, vehicle tracking, fleet management, precise timing mapping, data capture, etc. And of course, voice navigation for drivers, visual and voice navigation for drivers. Geodetic data is the data of the earth. For example, topography. For example, for the hikers, let's say you want the data. All right. The geostationary. Okay. One more thing about geostationary is that here your satellite is directly over the equator. It is directly over the equator. Bit of a science tech. I'll have to give extra notes also. All right. So it will include all of the things. More or less, I just want to teach you the concepts so that when you read them, they are